Segunda entrevista del día de la fecha. Nos vamos para los Estados Unidos de América. Cruzamos el Océano Atlántico y vamos a hablar con el amigo SENEKO, que no sé bien dónde se encuentra el amigo, pero bueno, ahora lo vamos a estar hablando con él. Él se llama Stan y ya está comunicado con nosotros. Raúl, cuando quieras, arranca la entrevista.
Hello, Stan. Está muteado, me parece.
You are mute.
Ahora.
Ahí va, ahora sí.
Hola. Hola, now it's okay. Can you hear us, Stan?
Yes.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. We are going to start with the interview. I'm going to make a little translation. So, please tell us your full name, where are you from, and how old are you?
Okay. I'm from Connecticut in the U.S. and my name is I go by SENEKO. My name is Stan Olszewski, and I'm 63.
Okay, we are all over 40, so it's okay. It's perfect.
Okay.
And Stan, please tell us which is your first memory of you listening to music?
My first memory was being a little kid and listening to my father playing Elvis Presley and then seeing the Beatles on TV.
Wow, nice, beautiful.
And I was totally blown.
Nice. Bueno, le pregunté cuál es su primer recuerdo escuchando música y dice que fue el padre cantando a Elvis y escuchando por la televisión a los Beatles. Así que perfecto el comienzo. And can you tell us, Stan, which was your first instrument and which was the first song that you learned?
The first instrument was guitar, still is. And the first song I learned was probably Rip It Up by Little Richard.
Wow.
And Elvis.
Bueno, le pregunté cuál fue su primer instrumento y la primera canción que aprendió y dice que su primer instrumento fue la guitarra, todavía es el instrumento de él, y dice que la primera canción fue Rip It Up de Elvis. Wow, cantada por Elvis. And can you tell us, Stan, if there are any places to study music for free in Connecticut?
To listen to my music?
No. There are places to study music for free.
Oh, to study music. Not for free. I mean, what's really cool is there's a school called School of Rock, like the movie. So there's a whole chain of these schools, and I don't think they're very expensive, and I see a lot of high school kids that are playing rock, which is great, and they do outdoor concerts for free, these teenagers, and they play some of their originals, but they also, it's nice to see rock and roll still alive because it's not exactly what pop music is, what they're necessarily listening to, but they play the Pretenders, they play Clash, they play the Pixies, they play really cool music, so they dig it.
Wow. Bueno, le pregunté si hay lugares para aprender música gratuitamente. Y me dice que no particularmente. Hay lugares que son muy baratos. Y dice, ahí aparece lo primero. Hay School of Rock, hay escuelas de rock en donde los jóvenes del secundario aprenden música. Y que por suerte son cosas rockeras. Y aparte dan conciertos gratuitos. Y tocan cosas como The Pretenders, The Clash, The Pixies. Así que él está muy contento que pese a que esté reinando la música pop en este momento, hay todavía hay jóvenes que tocan y escuchan rock and roll. And can you tell us, Stan, how was the first time that you play in public?
I was in a band in college that was a rockabilly band. Rockabilly was big, and we were huge fans of cowpunk and rockabilly, so we were big fans of the Stray Cats, and then digging into old Eddie Cochran and Robert Gordon. So it was in the 80s, and we played in our college where I was going to university. And then we played, we were pretty popular. We played in bars all over New Hampshire, outside of Boston and Maine. And we had a lot of fun. We were very loud.
Wow, nice memories. Bueno, le pregunté cómo fue la primera vez que tocó en vivo, y me dijo que, bueno, él tenía una banda en el colegio, en el college, y en los primeros años de la universidad, y que eran realmente muy fanáticos del rockabilly, gente como Stray Cats, de Cochrane, y que, bueno, que fue bastante popular la banda, que tuvieron la oportunidad de tocar en los alrededores de donde él estaba estudiando, así que le fue bastante bien y hacían bastante ruido, decían. And can you tell us, Stan, how did SENEKO project begin?
Well, I was writing country songs and pitching them because country music was where artists were looking and publishers were looking for songs. So I was writing a lot of country songs and pitching them, demoing them. And then country music, I did sign a publishing deal with a publisher in Australia and had a couple of cuts come out. But then country music, I don't know, it just became very commercial and weird, in the 2010s. So, and then streaming came around, and I really wanted to do a studio project. So I just started writing. Instead of writing for other people, I wrote for myself. And I didn't want to go by my name because I wanted it to be sort of an anonymous. It wasn't like all about me. They were really band songs. I wanted them to be big rock songs and band songs. And so what I did, I realized I could create records and stream them. And I had a label in Nashville that liked me a lot because we were friends. So I go to Nashville, a very friendly town, the players. I made a record in 2000, and I've made 5 EPs since then. And I just write for myself, and I love sharing with people.
Nice. Bueno, parece que tiene un montón de información de la música en general. Thanks for the information, Stan.
Jerry.
Yes, we really like that kind of stuff. Bueno, le pregunté cómo empezó directamente el proyecto de SENEKO, y dice que él estaba escribiendo un montón de canciones de música country, porque en ese momento estábamos hablando de los 90, finales de los 90, era muy popular la música country. Entonces, bueno, había sellos discográficos, empresas de la industria de la música que le pedían publicar, que era muy requerido los artistas country. Entonces él empezó a componer música country, que hizo un montón de demos, y que después en el 2000 y pico eso se transformó en algo medio raro. La música country se desvirtuó, y que apareció en los servicios de streaming. Entonces él quería aprovechar los servicios de streaming y empezó a componer un montón de canciones de música para otros grupos, y que él no quería aparecer directamente con su nombre, así que se transformó en SENEKO, y estuvo publicando para otros grupos, también haciendo canciones para otros grupos, porque él las quería distribuir directamente, quería ver qué pasaba con estos servicios de streaming, y finalmente empezó a hacer canciones para él con el nombre SENEKO, y que había un record label, un sello en Nashville, del cual él era medio amigo, así que se fue para Nashville y empezó a hacer canciones, y bueno, produjo 5 EPs que tiene editados hasta ahora, y que están muy buenos. Sorry, the question, Stan, when the streaming services came out, you notice a big differences in the music industry. Why?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, there's good and bad. The bad part is that you don't make any money, really, or very little, unless you get many millions of streams, and even then, not enough. But what it has allowed is just incredible that so many people are making music around the world. I think that's the good part. And I mean, there's 20,000 songs a day uploaded to Spotify every day.
Wow.
And with digital capabilities, all you need is it's easy to make a record. So, easy to make a song, music and broadcast quality. So I think what it's done is that it's spread music all around, even though you're not making money, but it's like, it's everywhere, and it's become what radio really used to be. People listen to internet radio like yourself. They listen to streaming services. It's just the way they get music. And what it's also done is for touring bands. It has shown people that they have big followings in certain places that they never would know about. So it allows them to tour. Like, I'm a big fan of the Jayhawks, that I know are very popular in Spain, and those guys bought houses in Barcelona, I think. I mean, they were so popular. They were from Minnesota, and they were never a huge commercial band. They were successful, but not huge. But all of a sudden, they realized they had all these fans in Europe, and that never would have happened before streaming.
Ok. Bueno, le pregunté directamente si él notó que había un gran cambio en la industria de la música a partir de los servicios de streaming, y me dice que sí, que es un cambio muy importante. Lo malo es que no hay dinero para los artistas, pero lo bueno es que hay un montón de artistas a nivel global haciendo música, que con las capacidades técnicas que te da la tecnología digital, hay un montón de gente produciendo música. Dice que hay más de 20.000 canciones subidas a Spotify por día, para que se den una idea de la cantidad de artistas que hay dando vueltas por ahí. Y dice que también algo que beneficia mucho es que tenés llegada global. Entonces bandas como los Jayhawks, que acá son bastante conocidas en España, tienen la posibilidad de hacer tours, de girar por lugares a donde antes no llegaban. Entonces, por ejemplo, dio el ejemplo de los Jayhawks, que llegaron hasta comprar una casa en Barcelona, porque ellos no es una banda muy popular, son de Minnesota, pero sí se hicieron muy famosos a través de servicios de streaming, y bueno, llegaron a una gran cantidad de público, por ejemplo, en Barcelona, en España, y bueno, se hicieron súper famosos y tuvieron la posibilidad de comprarse una casa. Wow, así que dice, para redondear, que sí, es un cambio muy grande en la industria. And Stan, in 2016 you released your first EP with 5 songs. How was the recording process of that first EP?
Well, it's interesting. So the way it works, I knew these studios because I recorded demos in, there's a studio called County Q that I worked at in Farmland in Nashville. And they knew me, and I knew the players, and I got to know them. So the process is, with that record and with all the records, is that I wrote a lot, and I decided which 5 songs I wanted to do for my first record. And I played around with it with my little label, Torres Music Group. And you make a demo of just you playing me playing guitar and singing on a cheap recording, or some people use piano, and you send it to the studio, and you email it, and then you talk about it and what you think you want it to sound like. I want it to sound like Wilco, or I'm looking for a Coldplay, or this is the kind of vibe. And they just know. I mean, they're incredible musicians. You play with it. I would highly recommend Nashville if you're interested. It's the least expensive place to get the very best people. And then you set up a studio date, and you fly there and go in the studio, and you can bang out 5 songs in 2 days. It's just incredible. They're just, you work with the best session players. On the first record I had J.D. Cornfloss, who's played on 1,000 records, who was in Bob Seger's band. I had, a guy named Pat Buchanan, who, has done session work with a lot of country bands, everybody. It's just amazing. So you play with the very best people, and it's been that way with every record.
Wow. Bueno, está súper conectado con la industria de la música, Manu. Me parece que tenemos un músico increíble. Bueno, le pregunté por el proceso de grabación de su primer EP y me dice que todos en general se graba de la misma manera. En 2016 sacó su primer EP con SENEKO, con este proyecto, y lo que nos recomendó directamente, que es algo imposible para nosotros, Manu, recomendó así al pasar. Él tiene muchos amigos en Nashville, bueno, que ya lo había comentado, y que hay un estudio con el que él trabaja siempre, al cual se le puede mandar, él manda un EP, él manda un demo tocando la guitarra, o algunas personas mandan las melodías también tocadas en piano, y dice que hay músicos sesionistas que vos más o menos le decís la onda que quiere tener las canciones y la hacen, y él está súper conforme con el resultado porque los sesionistas que hay ahí son de los mejores del mundo, y dice que eso es relativamente barato contratar a este estudio y a estos sesionistas. Y bueno, comentó por ejemplo que hay sesionistas ahí que tocaron con Bob Seger y con un montón de artistas de country conocidos. Stan, do you feel that the sessionist players, it's similar to a band, or it's completely different? How do you manage that?
It's very similar to a band because you play basically live. So in Nashville, there's a whole number system where the producer, and I've helped produce, the first thing they do is listen to your work, what they call a work tape, which is you playing guitar, and then you talk about it. And music is a language, and they just have an idea very quickly, and then you play it live. Sometimes, one take, two takes sometimes, and then you sing live, and then after, the initial take, because you're trying to save money, because studio time is very expensive, and so the players all have ideas. So a guitar player, for example, I work with John Connolly a lot, who's Kenny Chesney's touring guitar player. He's one of the top session players in Nashville. And he'll do some overdubs. I have this idea, the keyboard guy might have some ideas. So they'll do some overdub ideas, which may be used, may not be used when it gets mixed. And then once the music is all set, people have lunch, and then all the musicians leave, basically. And around 3 p.m, we do the vocals, for keeps, and I overdub the vocals. And the background vocals, they come in after that. So it's a long day, and then the next day we mix it.
Wow.
So it's a lot of fun. It's about as much fun as you can have because, it's great. It's amazing.
Wow. Bueno, yo le repregunté por el tema de tocar con músicos sesionistas, si no era un poco frío, que no me pareció que no era muy parecido a tocar con una banda, pero lo que me explicó perfectamente es que las grabaciones son en vivo, entonces tenés la oportunidad de tocar con músicos sesionistas de la puta madre, y eso es un proceso que él disfruta mucho, y que tener la oportunidad de tocar con gente como John Connolly, que es uno de los mejores sesionistas de ahí de Nashville, es increíble, y dice que es un proceso que él llega con una idea, y aparte los músicos de este calibre, de este nivel, te van tirando ideas aparte. Vos llevas una melodía o un demo de un tema y te van tirando ideas aparte de las que vos tenés, que hay veces que quedan en la canción y hay veces que no queda. Así que es un proceso que él llega con una idea, o se las manda por email, empiezan a grabar en vivo a la mañana, dice que comen algo y después a la tarde siguen grabando, y al otro día ya tienen armado la canción y empiezan con las mezclas. Y dice que el proceso hay que tener una idea muy clara también, porque el proceso de grabación y con estos músicos suele ser caro. O sea, hay que ajustarse al presupuesto. Uno tiene determinada cantidad de plata, tiene una idea para hacer una canción, va con estos músicos y hay que tratar de ajustarse al tiempo y al dinero que uno tiene. Stan, you went to the university. What did you study in the university?
I did English, literature, and writing. I've always been a writer. And I wrote screenplays, and I was writing songs in my band, and reading a lot in literature. And I've always been a word person, so that's what I studied.
Wow.
And filmmaking too.
Nice. That's why you write a lot. You read a lot and you write. Nice.
I read a lot, I write a lot, and I listen to a lot of music. I'm a big song guy.
Wow.
I used to buy, I've been listening to, we used to buy 45 records and then cassettes, just listening to a lot, writing a lot. You absorb a lot and then it comes out in your own way, mysteriously.
Yes, nice. Bueno, le pregunté porque él había dicho que había estudiado en una universidad. Hay Manu, en donde vive Stan, que es Connecticut, hay una de las universidades más prestigiosas del mundo que se llama Yale. Yale is in Connecticut. O sea, es todo un lugar de muchas universidades y un nivel súper elitista de estudio. Y bueno, le pregunté el que había estudiado y me dijo inglés. Estudió para escribir. Es escritor, dice que también escribió para un montón de películas, aparte de su banda, y que le gusta mucho. Es un gran consumidor también de literatura y de discos, y dice que por eso también escribe mucho, porque él consume mucho y misteriosamente también aparecen cosas escritas y ¿cómo se llama? Y cosas escritas para su banda y también en libros y para guiones de películas. Stan, in February of this year, you released your last EP, The Girls from Cedarhurst. Do you feel that?
Yes.
How do you say the space Cedarhurst is involved in your composition process? Why?
I say that again.
Cedarhurst is a place. That place is involved in your composition.
Oh, why? Why Cedarhurst? Yeah. Well, I read on my own, but that song I wrote with an old friend, and it's kind of a funny story. I'll try to make it quick. Mm-hmm. So when we were both in grade school. We were 12 years old, and I've known him since we were 6 years old. So we went to a school called Brookside. And then there was this other school called Cedarhurst, a grade school. And we never knew those kids until we got to high school. And then on orientation day at high school, there were all these girls that we had never seen before. And it was amazing, we were like, oh my God, look at all these girls. And so we called them the Girls from Cedarhurst. But the song isn't really about that. That just gave us an idea about this place called Cedarhurst. Maybe it's a college, maybe it's a country club, maybe it's a wealthy town where these upscale girls come, and every once in a while they'll slum it, which they'll go to crummy bars and they'll go bar hopping and in blue collar areas, and so the writer, me, in the song is someone who's in one of these places, who's beneath them socially. But would love to, get together with the one who maybe get lucky and just, fall in love with someone like that.
You are very romantic.
So that's how it happened. Yeah, I am. That song is very romantic. Of a lot of wanting, I like love songs. Not always about falling in love, but about, like the song that you played, I Knew She Would, is about a friend, who he really loved, but she was always a friend and helped him get over a romance. So all aspects of love, and not just falling in love or getting dumped or whatever.
Not getting dumped. No, please, not getting dumped. No. No, that.
Well, actually, I Knew She Would is a little bit about that, but it has a happy ending.
Ajá. Bueno, le pregunté porque sacaron un EP que se llama Girls from Cedarhurst, y Cedarhurst es un lugar, y le pregunté por qué sacó esa canción, y dice que es una canción medio de amor, porque que le escribió con un viejo amigo, un amigo que él lo conoce desde los 6 años, que a los 12 años empezaron a ir al colegio juntos, y había un colegio en su zona y otro colegio en Cedarhurst, y cuando ya terminaron el colegio, que iban al college, al preuniversitario, se juntaron juntaron la gente de esos dos colegios y había un montón de mujeres. Y él estaban los dos como locos mirando, diciendo de dónde salieron tantas mujeres. Y bueno, ahí empezaron a escribir sobre todo esto, que era juntarse con gente diferente de otro pueblo, de otra localidad, y empezar a tener salidas, ¿no? Extraescolares, de ir a bares y a todo eso. Bueno, y la canción se refiere un poco a todo eso. Manu, no sé si tenés alguna pregunta para hacerle.
Sí, hi, estamos hablando con el amigo SENEKO todavía. Hi Stan, you are an experienced musician. You have seen many fashion go by, many fashion disappear. Do you feel that the folk rock, the music of I don't know, Grateful Dead, Tom Seeger is disappearing, is dead, is you understand?
Is very what? Sorry.
The music from like Grateful Dead or the
folk rock, the folk rock in USA.
Yeah.
Is still alive? Is still alive?
Yes. Oh yeah, it is. I think I want to mention before that I co-wrote that song with Rod Thorne. I didn't want to lose that. Anyway, Girls from Cedarhurst. Oh yeah, definitely. I read a really cool. I mean, I see my kids, and I see young people. It's rock music, and it's very much alive. It's maybe not what's the most popular. Everything is very hip hop, which is fine, and it is what it is. And you know, but I read a cool article about how millennials are the first generation to listen to their parents' music in a non-nostalgic way. They listen to it because they listen to it the way people in the 60s or 70s would listen to blues. It's a standard now, you know. So I hope it will make a comeback in a commercial way. That'd be nice. I mean, there hasn't been anything big in music in terms of a big deal since grunge, and that was in the early 90s. So it's time for something to happen. But either way, kids in garages all over the world, or in huts or shacks, when you get a band together, you play rock music.
But
I mean, that's what you want to play. You learn 3 chords and you want to play rock.
But still today, the band, the huge band, are still the Rolling Stone, U2, Bon Jovi. There's nothing new.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there's nothing new, and we're waiting. Something will happen, you know. Maybe SENEKO will get big.
I like that.
But it's not important, you know. It's like poetry. It's like poetry. It's not important. It's like poetry. You can be all it takes is, you know, you stand up in a coffee house and you write a poem, you share it with people. If you're a painter, you paint. If you're a filmmaker, you make movies. If you're a songwriter, you write songs and you want them played. You start bands. It's all art. It's all good. Or you're doing hip hop and rap, and you know, it's all creative expression, and I don't judge any of it. I mean, I listen to everything, but my personal, you know, no, I think rock is on the back burner, but like jazz was too. You know, at one time there were 300 jazz clubs in New York City. Now there's like 2. So you know, but yeah, you're right. It's time for. I hope it'll come back. I think it will. There's still Jack White, the Black Keys. You know, there's a band in Los Angeles that I really love called Foxygen, amazing band. And then Wilco, but those, you know, I mean, those guys. There's that generation, and there's young guys too. They're coming up, and we'll see.
Buenísimo lo que. Really nice what you are talking about. Muy bueno, muy bueno. We really like what you are saying, Stan. Bueno, Manu le preguntó por el momento que está pasando el rock y el folk en este momento en Estados Unidos, y dice que todo va girando, pero pese a todo, o sea, si uno se junta con 3 amigos en el garage de una casa, va a aprender 3 acordes y va a tocar rock and roll, por suerte. Y lo que está diciendo, lo que dijo es tremendo, que es verdad, que por ejemplo el blues, el jazz, cuando fueron desapareciendo, o no es que fueron desapareciendo, no fueron siendo tan comercial, se transformaron en estándar. Y dice que los chicos nuevos de ahora, los new millennials, los famosos millennials, ya escuchan a la música de los padres y que ya se transformó en un estándar. Buenísimo el concepto que metió. Sí, es algo que ya está estandarizado. Muy bueno lo que acaba de decir. Y dice que pese a todo, lo último, que va a venir un recambio y algo nuevo va a aparecer, porque lo último nuevo que fue súper masivo y súper pop, el último movimiento que hubo fue el grunge, que yo ahora le voy a preguntar, Manu, sorry Stan for the question, but you think that grunge music was more popular or make more money than hip hop?
No, I mean hip hop is huge, right? I mean, the advantage grunge had was people weren't streaming yet. People were buying at the time. It was, vinyl was becoming CDs. So those grunge guys, were touring, and MTV was still playing music, and Nirvana, Unplugged. They made a lot of money, and they did really well, and they should have. It's amazing music, grunge I love. And I was already older, when grunge was out. It was really my kids were too young, but I loved it. I mean, the first time I saw Pearl Jam on TV was the first exposure I got to grunge, and I was blown away. I said, this is new, this is so cool. And then I went back and I realized, it really started, the Pixies before that, and then you have Lou Reed, you have the Velvet Underground, you have the roots of it are old. But and then and some punk, like the Ramones, and they were all kind of leading into that, and Neil Young even. So I love grunge music, and I listen to it. I love the Flaming Lips too. I mean, there's other offshoots of it that's not really grunge, but some of their songs are. It's the last really exciting time of music, and there's Hole. And there's, the Muffs. There's so many bands that are, that were putting out music. It wasn't just Nirvana and Pearl Jam. It was, many. And the LA's, it was the big Los Angeles and Seattle and New York later. It was all just happening. Everybody was wearing a flannel shirt.
Muy bueno lo que dijo Manu. Mira, como que marca otro camino. Marcó el grunge como los padres del grunge, como a Lou Reed y a los Ramones y a los Pixies, que yo lo tenía más como Led Zeppelin y ¿cómo se llama? El de Ozzy Osbourne y Black Sabbath. Pensé, pero me mandó para otro camino, que es verdad también, son otras raíces del grunge. Y lo que dijo también, que tiene razón, que nosotros no lo pensamos mucho, Stan piensa siempre en términos del artista, no tanto del público, que eso está buenísimo, y que dijo que bueno, el grunge fueron los últimos grupos que vendieron discos. Que es terrible, es verdad, fueron los últimos grupos que vendieron discos. Ya todo lo que vino después del grunge era servicios de streaming y no se llenaron tanto de plata como los artistas que hay ahora. Y ahí puede ser la gran diferencia económica, que tiene razón, entre los artistas del grunge, que fue el último movimiento grande que hubo ahí, lo dijo también en Nueva York, en Los Ángeles, en todos lados había gente haciendo música que vendían discos, vendían cassettes, vendieron después CDs, y los artistas de hip hop, que ahora es todo streaming. Es verdad, muy bueno lo que me acaba de armar el mapa perfectamente de todo de toda la transición, digamos, de la venta de discos a servicios de streaming. Muy bueno. Thanks, Stan, for the explanation. It's perfect for me. Nice. Bueno, we are going just to close the interview. Thanks for your time. And can you tell us something about the future plans of SENEKO?
Well, I'd like to do a best of, a greatest hits kind of thing, and on vinyl, limited edition vinyl.
Wow.
It's expensive, so I'm looking for maybe a way to do that, it would be colored, maybe make 300 of them numbered. So that's a possibility. The next EP I do is going to be very much a punk. I've written a whole bunch of punk songs, and I really want to do 3-chord punk, and it's to me very exciting. And that's just what's going to be next, you know. So that it'll be a vinyl best of, and then I don't know which will come first, but definitely a punk record.
Wow, nice. I'm a big fan of the Ramones, so thanks for that. Great.
Yeah. When you listen to the Ramones, it's like listening to really good blues. It's hard to go from the Ramones to Bruce Springsteen. Although I love Bruce Springsteen. Okay, I've seen him 100 times. But when you listen to Chicago blues and then you listen to the Rolling Stones, it's like, you know. And I love the Rolling Stones, so that's the same thing. When you listen to the Ramones for like a couple of hours, and then try to listen to anything else, and you'll be disappointed in the beginning.
Perfect. The same for me. Thanks for that. Perfect. Bueno, no, le pregunté cuáles eran los futuros planes con el proyecto SENEKO, y que va a sacar él tiene varios EPs y va a sacar como un grandes éxitos en vinil, así que está viendo ahí en donde lo puede editar una pequeña tirada de unos 300 discos en vinilo de grandes éxitos de SENEKO, y que el próximo EP que va a sacar va a ser de punk, así que directamente que está muy curioso por ver qué puede hacer con 3 acordes y volver a lo simple, y a ver qué puede escribir aparte de eso. Manu, si tenés alguna otra pregunta, si no cerramos.
No.
Sí.
Agradecerle el tiempo, obviamente,
sí.
Y nada más. No,
Stan, really thanks for your time. We love to speak with you, and it's really we learn a lot.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Okay. And just to finish the interview,
well,
we are going to listen to Higher Things.
Okay.
Can you say something about that song, Higher Things?
Oh, great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, someone said it's the most poetic thing I've ever written. I wanted to write something really pretty and really spiritual without being, something that was really special, and it just came out. But also very melodic and pretty and abstract.
Perfect. Stan, thank you very much. We are going to listen to Higher Things. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Inspire me to a vision above the clouds, past the stars, further than redemption of who we were, what we are. clouds, past the stars.